What if your child was screaming for help in a crowded place and no one knew what was happening? So they did nothing. It's a terrifying thought, but it's a reality that we need to think about. A few years ago, I witnessed something that really stuck with me. A child was throwing a huge tantrum in the middle of the grocery store. The child was crying, yelling, kicking. Everyone around just assumed that it was a frustrated kid whose parent couldn't control them, so people glanced over for just a second, then continued on their way. Sure, it was loud, but it was just another frustrated parent with an upset child, right? Nothing out of the ordinary. But here's my question. What if this wasn't just a tantrum? What if this was an abduction attempt? What if that child was screaming, not because they didn't get their way, but because they were trying to tell the world something important, something no one could hear because we all made an assumption. When people assume, they stay silent. They don't intervene. But what if there was a simple, powerful way to make sure that your child is heard in moments just like this? What if you taught your child to scream one simple, life-saving phrase? This is not my mom. This is not my dad. When a child screams those words in public, it's a red flag. It lets everyone around them know that something isn't right. It's a signal that gets attention. It shifts the mindset from this is just another tantrum to something is wrong here and we need to act. And when a child knows to say this is not my mom or dad, it can stop an abduction in its track. Strangers won't just assume it's a tantrum anymore. They'll know that this is a cry for help and they'll need to act. They need to step in. Now you might be wondering, how do I teach my child this without scaring them? It's a very, very good question, but it's all about making it part of the conversation in a positive and empowering way. So start by explaining that there are people out there who may try to trick them. Let them know that if someone ever tries to grab them or take them somewhere, they should scream that one simple phrase. Practice it with your children in different environments, at home, in the park, even walking around the neighborhood. Make it fun, make it empowering, role play with your child so your child feels confident and ready if that situation ever arises. By practicing these words, your child not only knows what to say, but also knows it's important to stand up and be heard. It gives them the power to protect themselves and to make sure that someone steps in if they're ever in danger. Remember, this isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. So the more you teach your child to trust their instincts and to speak up, the safer they're going to be. And the more you talk about it, the more prepared they'll be if the unexpected happens. So next time you're out and about, take a moment to have a conversation with your child. Teach them how to shout the right words and make sure that they understand that they have the right to be heard. That simple phrase could be the difference between no one noticing and someone stepping in to help. Thank you for joining me. Remember, the more that we educate our children, the safer we can keep them. I'm Teresa Norris with Gig Harbor Self-Defense. Stay empowered, stay safe, stay informed.